It's cool. It's like we can have a deep, really deep conversation panel. Is that cool with you guys? I mean, sure, fluffy little dorky stuff is all great and good, but let's have some deep talk. How about that? All right, first of all, let me say this. I don't like the word religion. I don't like the word religious. I don't consider myself a religious person. And I'll tell you why. To me, I'm not pushing my opinions off on you. I'm just sharing my faith. To me, religion is a man-made word that describes man-made attempts to package and define and contain God or spiritual concepts. Many, many very, very bad things have been done in the name of religion. I don't like that word. I don't tell people I'm religious, and I try to be tactful but make the distinction. No, I'm not. There are a lot of religious people in the world, but they have no spiritual temperature. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll give you a perfect example. Perfect example. You ready? The Pharisees and the religious leaders of Jesus' day were the ones that actually screamed the loudest to have him put to death. And you know what he did to those guys? You guys, I'll tell you something about Jesus for you. This is not Jesus. No. You're thinking of some painting that some guy in the Renaissance period did, okay? Let me tell you, Jesus was a rebel. You don't believe me? Read his book. I'm not kidding. You guys, he was a carpenter. You understand? He worked with his hands, and he worked with heavy wood, and he was a rustic, tough guy. And then, when he would speak, he would be like, oh, we should be nice. He would go up to the religious leaders of his day. Do you guys understand that back in that day, the religious leaders ran everything? They controlled people with fear. They controlled the common people with guilt. Does that sound familiar at all to you? 2,000 years ago, they were controlling people with guilt over doing bad things or abiding by a specific set of rules or observing these customs or repeat this 100 times or do this, don't do that. That's how they controlled the people, because the people wanted so desperately to have a relationship with God, and these religious people got up and said, I'll tell you how to have one with him. Do what I tell you. And then they set up all of this huge organization of rules and regulations and customs and repetitions that had no basis in anything but their own plan. And so Jesus was one of the first people to come out right in front of him. He would walk right up to me and go, you guys, you are frauds. You know what he called them? He called them whited sepulchres. In other words, graves that were painted white beautifully on the outside, and inside were dead, rotting bones. You know what that means? That means they had a form of religion. They had an image of religiosity. But inside, where it counted, nothing. That's what I think of when I think of religion. So, long answer, right? So, I don't consider myself a religious person. I consider myself somebody that believes in the Bible, that believes in Jesus Christ, that loves him, that is grateful to God for my life and the gifts he has given me, and I try to live my life the best way I can to please him. That's my answer. It's simple and it's not flowery. It's just simple and personal. Now, let me answer your question about the little pipsqueak. This is just me, okay? Again, I'm just sharing my opinion with you. I don't think Ed's an atheist. I really don't. I think he's agnostic. You know what that word means? Basically means I don't know, I don't really believe anything. But let me set the scene for you guys, okay? Here's a 12-year-old boy whose father abandons their family. Bitter, hurt, angry, right? Then his mother is taken. As a child, he and his brother lose their mom. More bitter, more hurt, more anger. Then he tries, as a child, to take it into his own hands to do something about it, and he almost kills his only relative, his little brother. More guilt. More bitterness. How many of you have ever lost somebody close to you, or you've known a friend that's lost a loved one? What do?